But I'm looking at the ratings. Everybody in wrestling media now, everybody's analyzing the ratings. They all sound like they actually understand what any of the implications of all of the data that they regurgitate really is. And the fact is, they really don't. They have access to the data, but they really don't understand how to interpret it or how to make use of it. So I'm looking at people now, and and I'm not picking on anybody. I'm not throwing rocks at anybody. Look, I want everybody to be as freaking hugely successful as possible. However, I'm sitting back and I'm watching people fighting over continually shrinking pieces of pie. Like, people brag now when they get close to 1 million viewers. People think the world is going to, come to an end when, Monday Night Raw was less than 2 million viewers in prime time over the course of 3 hours. They think the world is coming to an end. And nobody can understand where the wrestling audience has gone. Where have they gone? They didn't all just leave the planet, right? They didn't all die. There are still, many of them are all still out there, but for one reason or another, they have chosen to disengage from the product. I'm going to give you two specific examples. Let's forget about COVID, forget about what's going on in the last 6 months, because none of it matters. It's all unprecedented. It's just a bunch of raw data floating around in the air, and it's going to take us years to figure out how it's really impacted us. But just look at 2 data points. SmackDown, when it premiered on Fox last October, did almost 3.9 million viewers. Wow. On the premiere episode. Guess what? 3 weeks later, they were hovering around 2.5.
Yep.
Where did those million people go? Why did those million people come, sample the product, and decide, no, I'm going somewhere else for my entertainment dinner? I'd like to know that. Look at AEW. They premiered with almost 1.5 million viewers, head-to-head against NXT.
Yep.
Am I right about that? Did they premiere head-to-head?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Roughly 1.5 million viewers. Pre-COVID, they were down under 1 million. Where do those 500,000 people go? What are they watching?
Right.
What did they see that didn't satisfy them enough to come back? What did nearly 1 million people who were watching Fox and the premiere of SmackDown last October, where did that nearly 1 million people, what made them go, hey, I'm going to check this out. I don't think I like it. I'm not coming back. I want to know that. That's the real question. And I have a hypothesis, a theory, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody is hearing it first on your podcast.
Love it.
You know where it went? It went to the fucking news. Look at the male demos for Tucker Carlson. The premium, because everybody's talking demos now. Like all of a sudden, this is new information.
Right.
Demos were 20 years ago when I was producing television, or 10 years ago when I was producing television. Demos have always been important, but what's happened now, if you look at all of the top-rated shows at cable, they're all news. And the reason for it, in my opinion, is because the news is better at cutting promos than anybody in the wrestling business on a consistent basis. You're seeing people going at each other over stuff they're passionate about in a very animated, over-the-top, oftentimes edgier and more raw and definitely more believable, but edgier and more raw and more combative than anything you see in 5 hours of primetime wrestling. The promos are better, for God's sake. And the news has become wrestling, and wrestling is trying to become news. Doesn't work. You need more emotion. The news media has figured out they're going to make their money not by informing people and not by making people think, by presenting two sides of a story. what they're going to do is create emotion and anxiety and hate and anger and reasons for people who are getting paid millions of dollars to go on TV every week and argue different points of views. You got a heel over here, you got a baby face over here. 3, 2, 1, cut a 2-minute promo. And they're making money hand over fist. Where you tune into wrestling and you're watching promos that make you go, oh my God, why am I watching this? That's why all of the audience has shifted from wrestling somewhere else, because that's something that they're missing, that real believable, emotional back and forth isn't happening in wrestling.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.